Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mazury map. I don't know how to pronounce this still. Mazury? This Polish map. Where today... Genuinely no idea. Today we're gonna do some spraying, and this sprayer is far wider than I'd expected. This may be a single pass. I may need to get a smaller sprayer. As you can see, we've got a smaller cultivator now. It's only 4 meters. I think it's a much better fit for the map. Will this pass through with no problems? It will. This is silly. If we get this done, I'll have to do some mowing because there's nothing else really needing to be done at the moment. Yeah, this has gone wrong. But if we get this done, we'll do some mowing, we'll make some hay, and figure out where to go from there, I guess. Hopefully maybe do some baling. I'd like to get some more hay bales made. There's about half a trailer load done. I'd like to fill the trailer and get moving. Also, there's a thing I could do. Is I could get myself a plow and start working on the grass field that's all sorted out, because I feel like Giant's grass might be better. Also, I've swapped from doing round bales on this map to doing small square bales, which is probably going to cause... I'm stuck in a tree. Probably going to cause some problems, granted, but I feel like in Poland you wouldn't have too many farmers with big equipment making round bales, especially not on this kind of farm. You'd have, you know, a small bale or something like maybe the Welger, which, before anybody says it, I know Sim's using it on his Polish map. That's because he's got the same logic. But you would more than likely see somebody out with a small baler, not a big round baler. And if you did see a round baler, it'd be old. It wouldn't be something like what I've got in terms of mods. I also actually want to swap out the... Do I need to swap out the tether? I think I want to swap out the tether for a hay bob, because we got the Massey Mower, which I think is a better fit than the class, oddly enough. So there have been some equipment swaps, mainly due to me guessing the map size wrong, effectively. And I think we're now in a position where the size of what we have is better. The money we have is legitimate. I might have added a bit, but it's from selling off the equipment we don't need because it's too big. So in that sense, it's legitimate. In probably every other sense, it's not. Do I have a smaller sprayer available, actually? Just while I'm at the shop. So, this is the one we're using. It's 26 meters. Is there one that's smaller? 15 meters. This one's what, 21? Could get one of these, but it just doesn't make sense. Now, we'll stick with the sprayer we have here. It's a lot bigger than I actually had anticipated. So, we need to get over to our other fields, which, now that I have a vague idea of the layout of this map, I know I've got to go down here to down by the sawmill inside of Cheap, and take a right-hand turn that'll bring me up to the fields we own. And my arms are getting cold because I rolled my sleeves up earlier when I was doing something and I forgot to roll them back down, and oh my god, that's lovely and warm now. So we need to take this road here, This will bring us over to the rest of our fields. And we can go from there, I suppose. So field 23 is going to be the first one we hit. I just realised that I've gone the wrong way because this is the hilariously long way around that I'm taking. I might try and buy field 18 if I can. Now the reason I'm not driving on, across the fields to make up for the mistake is I do have crop destruction turned on. I don't feel it'd be right to be driving across other farmers' fields. Also, I'm kind of hoping that I can get to the road that I need to get to. The map maker is actually kind of smart in the way that the map has been designed, in that the fields you're seeing to the left of me here, you can't actually access them. There's invisible walls. Invisible collisions. And that just means that the map is kind of seamless, except for the bit where you can clearly see the edge of it. When you look like this, it does look seamless. Which I do like. I like when map makers kind of somewhat think ahead and think about how the edges are going to go. I'm also liking this dirt track. So here's one of our fields here. I do have crop destruction on, don't I? Yes, I do. It's just that the grass crushed texture is very similar to the grass not yet mowed texture. Let's get this on and get going. This is going to possibly be a single pass for this field. I may end up getting the Amazon sprayer instead, or finding... I'm going to look for something that's a lot smaller than this, so that it's multiple passes required. Because this is, unfortunately, just a bit big for what I need it for. Which, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but out of my control. For now, at least. It's out of my control just because this map has, honestly, hilariously tiny fields. Apart from Field 4 and Field 16, which are both just ridiculously huge. And Field 20 might pose some issues. And of course, there is also the issue of the giant grass field down the bottom of the map. Down here, which, being honest, I don't know what the plan for that field is going to be. I might get a big M in time. Might get a big M now, actually, and go in and mold that up with some big power. And have a big M for the 1, 2... Is it worth having a big M just for like 2 or 3 fields? Well, that's the next question I gotta ask myself, is would it be worth it? Just for a couple of quite large fields. And the answer is probably yes. But I'm gonna leave that up to you guys, I think. One thing I do want to get right now in Tedders is going to be... Oh, I've removed the hay bobs. Whoops. Did I get rid of the sip? I did not. Okay, so we can use the sip still. Now forwards, please. And this is a single pass. You know your fields are a bit tiny when you can fertilize them in a single pass like this. This is a bit... I like small fields, but this is a bit too far on the small side. And I don't own part of this field, so it's kind of shouting at me a bit. Might do the same down the other end of the... This is literally a single pass field. Oh my god, this is stupid. This is This is ridiculous. Yeah, just gonna drive down once with my fertilizer and we'll be fine. Granted, if I get to slurry and stuff on this map, it will be actually really good. You can see the bits of the field that the player doesn't own, including that chunk there for some reason. Can I raise the spray boom so I can get around here? Yes. Because I just want to get this far enough that it does that. Fantastic. We'll abandon this and go to... Let's use the... Did I get rid of the Kirovets? I got rid of the Kirovets. I want to get the Kirovets back. Where's the Kirovets? Kirovets. Why did I sell the Kirovets? Get this in twin wheels, because we're going to be using this for some heavy pulling. And... Nope. In plows, because I don't believe we have one. Let's get the Jimpa SJ79, which is 3.6 meters. We'll buy that as well. And now we have the Kirovets. Because this bad boy, in all of its raw power, is going to derp. Is going to be used momentarily if I can line up with the 3-point correctly. There we go. This, as ridiculous as it looks, is going to go down. And honestly, being completely honest, this can probably pull a bigger plow. This thing, in reality, is set up to be almost entirely torque. This, you know, the Kirovets in real life was used to pull missiles and pull rockets. I believe the old R7 boosters were pulled by Kirovets. The R7, for those of you that aren't into rocketry, which is probably a lot of you, is also known as the Soyuz, which is what launches people to the International Space Station. I believe there's also a variant that is unmanned that has a different name. Because why not? So let's get this into this field, and I know there's some random junk here, but that's fine. Let's turn on that. Okay, we are allowing it to create... We're not allowing it to create fields. This is Giant's Grass. Why is this not registered as Giant's Grass? This is an interesting problem that is being posed by this map. This is both Giant's Grass and not Giant's Grass at the same time. Because I don't have allow create fields turned on. Interesting issue. I suppose let's just power on and ignore it. We're gonna plow this field up a bit. And I could probably, and probably should have used an offset plow, but so be it. Come to think of it, if this is Giant's Grass, can I just use Courseplay? Calculate current edge path. What's the highest number field? 15, 16, 16, 25. So if I just set this in field 26 temporarily, and actually calculate edge path. Yeah, this should work. Field work. We'll go for 6 headlands. After the fact, 3.8 meters. Field 26. I'll set a manual position here. And where's the stuff here? Here we go. Turning circle. Set it to 1 meter. And if I generate from like here, couldn't generate course. couldn't generate... Why can't it generate a course? This is a new issue. I've accidentally kicked outside the window. Well done, Dave. Okay, it was clearly an issue with where I'd put it. Set this to go from the first waypoint. It's gonna have issues with all the junk that's there, so we'll use the Puma to move stuff. It's not gonna be a big issue. We'll use the Puma just as a shuttle tractor. Whoops. Because I do need to move this stuff anyway. We're gonna be moving it. Can I just shove this stuff out of the way entirely for the time being? No, it's gonna have to be moved manually, like, well, the square bit is gonna have to get shoved. So just move this over into the second part of this field here, if the tractor will let me. Four-wheel drive and lift locks, sort out any problems. This, oh, this will attach nicely. It's gonna be the sip that I need to go for a shove on, which shouldn't be too big of an issue. Again, these are just being moved temporarily over here. I will be moving them a bit more betterer. That was oddly convenient, curvettes, thank you. I'll be moving them to a bit more of a convenient place later, and that's going to be fun to get back up onto a tractor. In the meantime, let's actually do a bit of mowing. I know I've been doing mowing a lot lately, but do you know what? This is going to be quite quick. Why is the curvette slipping? Why is the curvette slipping? Where's the first waypoint? Okay, so it's just decided to derp at the first... It's decided to fall at the first hurdle itself. In fact, probably before that. Okay, drive course from there. Are you now going to make a logical turn, curvettes? You are not. Okay, let's set your turning circle back up to 5 meters and see if you can do this. Okay, that looks like you might actually know what you're doing. Are you now going to just start driving in circles? I get the distinct feeling you're about to start driving in circles. No, you're reversing... Are you now going to understand what it is you need to do? Perhaps. Okay, so while that's happening, let's go back over to the Massey here, the mower, and we will continue on this field. We're almost done already, but it's just kind of convenient to have something to do while we wait for the curvettes to finish with its work. We do have a second meadow over there, I believe, that we can do as well. Is that another meadow, or is that yeah, it's another meadow by field 22, so we can mow that up as well, just to show off this Massey in action. There's a part of me tempted to turn this into silage, but I don't quite know. Because if I turn this into silage, it will be with the Lely Forager, it won't be with the Massey Forager, because the Massey Forager honestly just pales in comparison. And yeah, it just... It's funny. I'm gonna come clean here. The only reason I've got the Massey pack on this map is for this mower. This is honestly my favorite part of the entire pack. As much as I like the 698, it's not as good as Matt's one was in FS15, despite being the same model. And the mower is the only real highlight of the pack for me. Because it does something that's not in the game by default. It does something that makes sense. In that it mows and windrows into a nice neat pile, all in one go, and I think it's better than the in-game stuff, the stuff that's in the game by default. Controversial opinion maybe, but it's my opinion. It is definitely, I feel, more useful than the default in-game stuff. Because it takes a wider swath and just leaves a single windrow behind. Plus, it's self-propelled, so you're not tying up a tractor doing... Well, say if you got a lot of mowing to do, you're not tying up a tractor doing this. So there, just checks and balances. It balances itself out. Yes, you are having a machine that can only mow ever, but at the same time, it's wider than a normal mower. It leaves a single swath unlike a normal mower, and you're not tying up a tractor doing this. So I'd argue this is worth buying, and it costs about the same as a normal mower. Especially a triple mower, which granted the triples are wider, but on a bit of a tighter map, maybe you want something in the middling size. I mean, this is actually, this is a pretty perfect fit for this map. Especially this kind of field where it's big but not huge. Any bigger than this and I probably would want triple mowers. Or butterfly mowers, or whatever you want to call them. This I think is at the upper limit of what I'd realistically be wanting to do with this. But even then, I mean, it is maybe pushing it a bit too far. And I will be doing a lot of this off camera and on streams, so don't worry, this isn't going to be 3 videos or 4 videos of me just mowing this field. I will be doing other things as well. This is just something that I've kind of had to fall back on because I unintentionally did all the work that I planned to do today in 5 minutes flat. I also want to apologize for yesterday's video being so very delayed. And some of you might have got 2 notifications that kind of give you a hint as to what happened. What happened yesterday was I uploaded the video, had it scheduled and all that, nice, and in time, and I was ahead of myself. I was doing very well. I was very pleased. And then at 6 o'clock, when the video was supposed to go live and I was supposed to go to bed, the video wasn't HD. In fact, right now at 7 PM, that original upload is still not HD. So I re-rendered the video with different settings. And I was actually intentionally waiting to see how that one went with YouTube, because I'm gonna use the same settings for this. And yeah, I accidentally fell asleep. I wasn't planning on sleeping. I was planning on doing all the videos for this week tired, which may be a bad idea. Kind of glad that I accidentally fell asleep. But yesterday's video was delayed by almost 12 hours as a result. Although I did notice a lot of you guys watched it almost immediately when it went up as a take 2. So I applaud you fine folks for that. By the way, if there are issues with videos that I have to take them down, Discord will have the first, probably only notification, because usually when I find that out, it's like 6 in the morning and I just want to go to sleep. So please join the Discord if you want to be absolutely 100% up to date with all the goings on the channel. And, I chill out in there quite a lot and talk to you guys as well. The Discord folks will be more than happy to welcome new people in and to, if you're not familiar with Discord, show you the ropes. Of that I am 100% sure, because everybody has to learn Discord when they're new, and it's a bit of a pain at times. And it's worse if you're trying to learn it as a server owner. Or a server person. Yeah, I'm good. I don't know what the right term is for Discord, but it's worse if you're trying to learn it while also running a Discord. It's even worse when you're trying to learn it when you're trying to run Simulate's Discord. But that is... yeah, that was a bit of fun for me. What I'd like to do in Thursday's videos, actually, I don't know what I want to do in Thursday's video. I might, see, here's the thing, is I usually don't plan videos and I'm trying to plan one now and it's not going to end well. I might get some pigs and get them going, because I would like to get some slurry manure over time. And getting pigs running to as close to 100% as I can very quickly is a good idea. I might also buy a field, because, again, getting crops going as quickly as possible is a good idea, because it gets money in, and also I'll intentionally pick a field that has like wheat or barley, so that I can get straw. We're going to do 4 headlands on this field, by the way, just because it is quite large and I can get away with it. Yeah, probably buy a wheat or barley field. I think I'm almost certain I can afford one, even if I do buy like 20 pigs, which right now is the plan, because pigs are hilariously good for number one, you know, getting effectively free manure and slurry, and number two, making money, because they just won't stop reproducing. In fact, if you get about 50 pigs, it becomes this hilarious snowball effect where they just will not stop, which I've learned on the West Coast. I don't particularly mind, I'm gonna be honest, because it's, again, the more pigs you have, the more manure and the more slurry you have, so it makes sense to buy like 10 or 15, maybe up to 20, and then just kind of let them spam themselves. Just keep them topped up with food, keep them topped up with water, keep them topped up with straw, and let the pigs spam more pigs at you, because hey, it's just free everything forever after that point. And if you need to buy more pig food, well, just sell some pigs. They can fund themselves pretty easily. So I think I'm going to use this line over here as the uppy downy line, because it's the longest straight line on the field. So once we get to the end of this headland, I will be actually coming back over the swaths that I've already mowed, and just getting over to this side of the field so we can get nice straightish lines. But we are, I think, doing a good job of this field. It's quite easy to mow with this, because I mean it steers from the back, so it's got a nice, reasonably tight turning circle. It's got a nice wide header. It leaves a nice tight swath. Reasons I like this Massey. We will be turning this into hay and into small possibly actually into hay and possibly into small bales. I have not 100% decided on whether to do that or to just turn it into silage. And if we do silage, we'll do it properly, because reasons, effectively. The Curavets is turning, it looks like, at the moment. And this is, you know, I gotta admit, I like this map. It's not the kind of map that I usually play, because I don't usually play Eastern European maps. I usually only play British or Irish maps. Although the Irish maps is a very, very rare occurrence, because very few of them actually meet my standards. Very few of them I like, honestly. Because a lot of them just... This is gonna sound a bit judgmental, and it should, because it is. A lot of them have great terrain. A lot of them have great yards. Very few of them have great terrain and great yards. And the vast majority of Irish maps that I've seen, unfortunately and rather annoyingly, they've got anti-modding buildings everywhere. It's the same 6 or 7 sheds that you see in all of the Irish maps, the same 6 or 7 houses you see in all the Irish maps. There's no real variety in them. And then you look at the likes of the West Coast, which you got multiple different kinds of sheds, multiple different kinds of houses, and then you look at Oakfield, which some of the pictures, I genuinely don't know if they're in-game or a picture of the real area, because that's a DEM map coming up from Oxford and David. Yeah, there's a quality issue with a lot of Irish maps, I've found. And granted, there is you know, a relatively small range of Irish style sheds, but you can easily take a British style shed, reskin it to look a bit more Irish, maybe be a bit more rusted, and hey, look, Dave's revealing some plans. You know, give it a new texture, give the corrugated iron a bit of a new texture, because suddenly you turn a boring shed that maybe doesn't fit on your map into an interesting set piece that you're left wondering, is this new and has been kind of neglected, or is this really, really old and it's been lovingly maintained over many years? That's kind of something that you see in Ireland a lot. As you can see the brand new sheds, obviously, because they're, you know, they stand out as this beacon of shining shedness. You can see the ancient sheds, which all have slate roofs and are tiny. And then you've got the vast majority of sheds, which you don't really know how old they are, unless you live in the area or you own the shed. Because so many of them are near identical. They've got a round roof. They're corrugated iron, or corrugated steel, or whatever. And there's just that bit of rust that you can't quite figure out if it's brand new and they've been unfortunate with rust, or if it's really, really old and they've been really, really good to that shed. And that's something that a lot of Irish maps miss. They miss and kind of fail on bringing character to the area. Now granted, there's a lot of maps that have a lot of character that I don't like. One, just as an example, is Old Streams. That is just chock full of character. That is just throwing character in your face. But I don't like it. It just doesn't sit well with me, for whatever reason. I don't even know why. Usually I like maps that have character, but then you've got maps that kind of manage to bring it all together and maybe fail on the technical stuff, like Lancy Boy's maps, because he's not strong at the technical stuff. You know, I like the guy. I speak to him fairly regularly. I enjoy his maps. But I'll be the first to admit that he's not good at technical stuff in Giant's Editor. But he manages to get the terrain, the character into the maps, and it just works. You know, Lancy Boy map is very clearly a Lancy Boy map. He's got his own distinct style. Same with Oxygen David does and Bullet Bill does. In any case, that is gonna be that for today. I'm gonna leave you by saying, I've been RainbowDave, you've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on the Mazury map. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back tomorrow with some West Coast. Until then, stay safe. And goodbye.